What's up, guys? Welcome back to another moto vlog on the Honda Grom clone. We're back for another, and sadly, the final moto vlog on this bike. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't think I would be riding this bike ever again prior to the gearing change that we did in the last Grom episode. Nope. This new engine is really tight, really difficult to shift right now. Got a breaker in. But that brings me to the point of this video. My 2-year review, actually over 2 years now of owning this bike. I get comments all day long from you guys. Would you buy it again? Is it a good bike? Should I buy one? How long is it gonna last me? Has anything broken on it? So we're gonna answer, or try to answer, all those questions today. Unfortunately, we're not on the street because I'm uninsured and unregistered, so we're just on this semi-private road. But let's get into it. So I bought this bike from Belmont Bikes over 2 years ago. BelmontBikes.com. I'll have it linked in the description below. I bought this bike a little bit more than 2 years ago, and it came in a welded crate with cardboard around it. Pulled it out, threw on the front wheel. I think I threw on the handlebars, and that was really about it. Threw on the mirrors. Yeah, mirrors, wheel, handlebars, battery. Got that all set up, and we were on our way. Since then, I did pro taper bars like right off the bat. Love the pro taper bars, highly recommend them. I did pro tapers, I did 402 Innovations smoke signals to get rid of those big ugly ones that come on it. I did a rear fender delete along with a new exhaust. I have the 402 Innovations stainless steel and carbon fiber exhaust. Sounds really good. Been really happy with it. And I'm trying to think. I don't think I've done anything else to it really. That's about it. Oh, of course, last video we changed the gearing on this bike, which was probably one of my biggest complaints for the entire time I've owned this bike. I've always been so annoyed by the gearing because first gear, boom, revs out at like 10-15 miles an hour, and then fourth gear, that's our last gear, and we're revving it out at like 45-50 miles an hour. I feel bad for the bike because we're revving it so high. So last video we put a 17 tooth front sprocket in the bike. It comes with a 14 tooth from the factory, so it's a pretty substantial difference, but the bike handled it just fine. As you can hear, first gear ready off the line, it really doesn't struggle at all. Still revs out semi quickly, I'm not gonna lie. Little detour here. Let's practice our tight maneuvering. No schools are in session at this time anyways, so but yeah, we got 14 tooth sprocket from the factory, just put a 17 tooth in, and it has improved the bike a ton. I don't feel bad revving the bike. Well, let me rephrase that. I don't feel bad cruising at 50 miles an hour anymore because I'm not revving the bike out. Yes, we lost a little bit of torque going up hills like I am right now. I'm in third gear and this is pinned. Still accelerating, you know, all right. But my point is, with the stock gearing right now, 46 miles an hour, we would be in fourth gear. Now with the new gearing at 45, when I put it in fourth gear, the revs drop all way down. It just cruises really nicely. We can keep the temperatures down, keep the RPMs down, and take a lot better care of the engine, which is another point I should talk about. Let me pull over here on the grass. Gotta tie my shoe. So I don't know if it stands out to you guys, but there's something very new on this bike, and that's the engine. So this is a brand new engine shipped out from Belmont Bikes. They were super helpful, helping me find the new parts that I needed. I needed a new headlight assembly. The front fender was a little scratched up, it still is, so I got a new one. A whole new engine, transmission. The engine came fully assembled, huge, even oil in it, everything. I did swap it out just to be safe, but engine came fully assembled with electric start, spark plug, everything fully assembled. But this is a brand new engine. It has, let's see, I reset the trip meter. So the bike has 556 on the bike itself, and that's what the old engine had. Our new engine here, I've only put 16 miles on it. So technically we are still in the break-in period, but yeah, we have a new engine. It was super easy to replace. I was pretty blown away. It's 2 bolts, 1 bolt right here and 1 bolt right here, and the entire engine drops out. So very easy to work on, very simple, and it really wasn't too costly to replace the engine. However, I don't want to knock the bike itself whatsoever. I don't want to knock Belmont bikes. I don't want to knock Chinese bikes at all. As I said in my previous video, we can hop back on the bike now, make this a little exciting. There she is. So as I said in my gearing video, I think the failure of the first engine was due to the gearing. And my reason for saying that is these Chinese companies, they haven't been making these Honda Grom clones, booms, BD 125s, whatever you want to call it. They haven't been making the street legal ones for that long. It was just the past couple years that they made this bike, and what I think did it for my old engine was the gearing, because these companies are used to making pit bikes and small dirt bikes, which require that torque for off-road. Absolutely, 100%. The gearing, oh my god, guys, I don't mean to snoop, but look at this car collection. I'm so ADHD. Anyways, dirt bikes and small pit bikes, they require that torque, so that gearing would have been completely acceptable on a pit bike. This isn't a pit bike, this is for the street. And every time I would go riding, regardless if I was following someone with a faster bike or if I was riding alone, I would always think to myself, oh my gosh, I wish this thing had a 5th gear. Because you can see in my previous video with the stock gearing, this bike would be revving out at like 50 miles an hour. Yes, we got it up to 60, but I was revving the piss out of it and I felt terrible for the bike. And cruising, you can't really cruise faster than 40-45 miles an hour without revving the bike out. And I felt really bad because whenever I went riding with Andrew, I would have to rev the bike out and I'd be sitting at, like, according to this, 6,000-7,000 RPM, just sitting there all day long following him. Why was this a problem for my previous engine? Well, the engine didn't fail. The engine's still running perfectly fine. It fires up every time right with the push of a button. Very reliable engine, perfect transmission, everything has been fine, except for one of the seals failed. And you know why? Because of the gearing, because the engine was revving out all the time. It was getting super hot, it couldn't catch a break, and I think I just fried the seals in that old engine. Had I had the 17 tooth, which is now in the bike, could have been sitting down at, well, let's see, accelerating. I don't even have to redline it anymore, but cruising in 4th gear here, I could have been chilling down at 3,000-4,000 RPM, which is considerably less. That's probably like 25% less at least than the stock gearing. So if I could have kept my temperatures down, I think that engine would have been fine. I don't think I would have had any oil seal failures, and yeah. But anyways, back to the review. Even with the stock gearing for the past 2 years, this bike has been an absolute blast for the money. People cannot believe what I paid for it. I can't believe what I paid for it. Seriously, go check out the websites, Belmont Bikes. See how much you can get one of these things shipped to your door for. Oftentimes, you can get a brand new bike like this for you know, the cost of what a lot of people pay for a flat screen TV. So very inexpensive. The insurance was extremely inexpensive. I got a policy with Geico for I think it was 99 bucks. No, it couldn't have been that. It was 129 a year, something like that. Super cheap to insure, super cheap to fuel this thing up. It gets like 100 miles to the gallon, so a trip to the gas station is very inexpensive, and it's not expensive to ride it. Oil changes take 10 minutes and you only need a quart of oil. So in terms of maintenance and cost, it's a fantastic bike. And this was my first street legal bike that I've ever purchased and ridden on the street. I think it was a great place to start. Everyone was right online. I got bored of it after 2 seasons and I needed something more, but that's fine. I had my fun with it. It doesn't owe me anything in terms of the cost. And let me tell you something, guys. If you purchase one of these for whatever it is, I think you can get this exact bike for 1,300 bucks shipped to your door. If you purchase one and you go through the headache of ordering it, waiting for it, and putting the front wheel and handlebars on, you can turn around and sell it for upwards of $1,500 on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist, like I did. So it's really kind of a no-brainer. It's more of an asset. It's not really going to depreciate like a Yamaha or really anything. It's kind of funny how the Chinese bike world works in that regard. But yeah, cost-wise makes sense. Fun factor is there. The ease of working on it is there. The parts are super easy to find online on eBay. Super cheap. So all in all, like I'm not upset with it. Nothing ever broke on this bike. I swear to God, I've never ordered a single replacement part for this bike. I haven't ordered a single replacement part for this bike other than, yes, I had to replace the engine, but you guys know my opinion on that. It's been super reliable. Everything has been up to par on terms of quality for what we paid for it. All in all, I highly recommend purchasing one of these bikes from Belmont Bikes, and specifically from Belmont Bikes because when I made the mistake of incorrectly filling out my title, I messed up. It was totally my fault, and I ran into some issues at the RMV. I hit up Belmont Bikes and they sent me a duplicate title, no problemo. Their customer support is super responsive, super helpful, and it was just a joy to work with them. So I really appreciate the opportunity to work with Belmont Bikes, to ride this bike all the time, to bring you guys the exciting content, and I would recommend picking one of these up if you're in the market for something fun, cheap, and somewhat reliable. The only time it gave me trouble starting was in the winter time, like in the dead of winter, and any small carbureted engine isn't going to want to start in the winter time anyway, so that's not a knock on this bike. It starts up every time in the summer, in the spring, when it's warm out. It served me well. The suspension's still there. The brakes are good. I haven't had to change the brakes in the 2 years that I've owned this. The brakes are, well, that's literally just the front brake right there. Let's try the rear. See if we can get the rear to skid out here. Oh yeah, baby. Let's do that on the new pavement, see if we can get some screeching, huh? Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, dude, this thing is just way too much fun for the money. You can get your money back out of it on Facebook Marketplace easily enough. The insurance is cheap. I don't know what else to say. It's just cheap fun. That's what it is. No, this is not gonna last you multiple decades like a Yamaha or like a Honda. No, I'm sorry, it's just the sad reality. It's made for less. It's not gonna last as long. But in the short term, if you're looking for a fun bike, I'd say the life expectancy on this bike is probably 10 years before it goes to If you take really good care of it, I'm sure it could last longer. If you take really poor care of it, it's not gonna last as long. So to answer everyone's question, is it a good bike? Is it reliable? How long is it gonna last me? That's up to you guys. How well you want to take care of it, if you want to store it inside, if you want to expose it to the elements, if you want to ride it off-road, if you want to do the maintenance on it. I have no doubt in my mind that this bike could last upwards of 10 years if I took extremely good care of it. But I've already told you guys, I outgrew the bike before it died on me. And I'm sure its next owner is going to outgrow it before it dies on them either. Let's get a little hardcore going here. Whoop. So you guys know my opinion. I say it's a yes. I say send it. For the last little bit of this moto vlog, for the last moto vlog on the Grom, we're gonna send the slip and slide, baby. I'm just gonna mess around and have some fun, because this is probably my last ride on this bike before I sell it, simply because I need the money. But here we go. This is another fun, oh my god, this is another fun perk about this bike. It's definitely not made for it, but it's surprisingly off-road capable. Oh my god, suspension's a little stiff. It's partially because oh my god, it's too much fun, guys. Even with this taller gearing, she still rips off-road. Oh. Nice. That wraps up my review on the 2018 Honda Grom clone from Belmont Bikes. It's been an absolute blast to get to ride this thing for the past 2 years. I would definitely buy one again. I would recommend it to friends. When I tell people how much this bike costs, they say, oh my god, I'm gonna buy one. Like, why not? If you can afford it, if you don't mind putting that money away for a bit, investing in having some fun, I'm sure you can get your money back out of it in the end. But I'm not going to keep rambling on, repeating myself. You guys know how I feel about this thing. I'm honestly sad to see it go, just because of how much fun it is. But hopefully I'll have another one in the future when I can afford to have multiple toys. But thank you guys so much for watching. Leave any comments or questions down in the comment section below. Please subscribe for more content. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time on JD Cars.